Hi there. Today we are going to discuss views in Laravel. Views are the essential part of this MVC framework. Actually, views separates the presentation logic from your business logic or controller logic. So views in Laravel is stored in resources, the folder, and under the resources folder, you can see here the views folder. It contains all the views of your application. Okay. So in these views, there are the blade files. Blade basically template engine for the Laravel. It's a PHP template engine. Okay, we will talk about the blade template engine in my dedicated video upcoming video. In this video, I will talk only on the views uh, and the composers. You can create your own custom composer. We will go through and further in this video. So any view you have created. So whenever you install the fresh installation of the Laravel, there is a default view. You can find the welcome. Okay. So this screen appears first time. So it comes from the welcome blade.php in views folder. It's a welcome view, you can say. Okay, so any view you can render using the view helper function, or you can use the facade view facade. So you can also use the view facade like this, and you have to use the make function of this facade, and under this function you have to give your template name. Okay, and you need to also include this facade at the top. So if you refresh the page, no change. Okay, so let's comment it out, the other one. Okay, so you can also use the facade, but generally we use this view helper function to render our view. So the first parameter is the your template name. Okay, your blade template name, and the second parameter can be a parameter you want to pass in this which you want to pass in this template file. So let's pass the id 55 here. Okay, and this parameter is now accessible in this blade template file. So let's print it out here. You can print your access your variable with the name you have provided in the parameter list. Okay, so let's refresh now. It's a 55. Okay, you can pass the multiple parameter in this section, or you can use the with method to pass the parameter, the template id and 400. So, and now if you refresh, you will get the 400. Okay, so this way you can render your view and pass the parameter into the template. There is a helper method called exist, so you can determine if the mm, target view exists or not. Okay, so let's say welcome, and let's die dump here exist. Okay, like this. So it should return this exist because our template file exists. Okay, we got we get exist, and if we pass the other template which does not exist, then it will return our default template file because it didn't pass this if condition. Okay, so like this you can use the exist method. There is one other method also called in some scenario you can use this helper function. First, the first parameter will be an array, and second, you can pass the mm, parameters. So it's a list of templates. So sometimes when you include some packages, they have the template files, and you want to write that. So and there are some situations. So it's very useful in overwriting the template. So here, welcome. Let's say welcome to. Okay. So here in this function, if welcome to does not exist, then it will uh, go through the go to the welcome. Okay, and if welcome to exists, then it will access this template. So let's refresh now. There is an invitation. Okay, so we have let's pass with id parameter. Okay, like this. Okay, so welcomes to does not exist, then it go through the welcome. So in this way you can overwrite in template. It will end its searching when it finds the first one. So it's called the first. Sometimes we need that we need to share the common data in all views. So in this scenario, view helper function has function share method. So you can pass the data in all view using this method. So you need to define that in the providers app service provider. Okay, with the view facade like this. Okay, and you can pass the variable name id, let's say 5000. Okay, so I have this id entered in welcome.blade.php, and this id will be shared in all the templates. So let's refresh now. We'll get this. Okay, so through this function you can share your data, common data, to all your views. Next thing I want to discuss the view composers. So view composer basically are the callbacks, are the class which you need to call every time the specific view render or the list of view render. You can define that. So with the help of the view facade, there is a composer. Okay, you can also define like that, or simply use the view facade like this. Both way will be acceptable. and just return view. Okay, let's say with the id and 235, like this. And in the first argument you need to give your template name. So in our case it's a welcome. Okay, so let's refresh now. We'll get the 235. You can give here the list of views if you want to. Whenever one of these views will be called, this data will be shared. You can share or execute any piece of logic here, whatever you want. So it's a closer version of the composer. Okay. You can also have a class of a specific class of that composer. So Laravel doesn't provide actually any specific command or folder to store the composer, but you should have in the your composer. You should have your composer in HTTP views folder. Okay, I have created one for the example. There is a profile composer. It's a it's a PHP class and nothing else. But every composer needs to have the compose function. Using this function, you can you can write the same logic which we have in our composer closer function. Okay, then you will get access this data. So in our case, let's the profile composer, let's define your id and I have users in my database 5 count, then it should be a 5. Okay, then let's access it. So you need to register first. So to register, let's comment it out first. View composer. Okay, and welcome template name, and there should be a class path. So our profile composer path should be like this, and like this. It should be enough. So let's check it out if it is working or not, and let's refresh it. Okay, it's 5 because I have the 5 users in my DB, and here I am returning the 5 count in my profile composer class. Okay, so every composer class must have a compose function. So if you have any dependency like I have the users, so you can define in your constructor. Okay, so it will be resolved at runtime and you can use in your compose function. It's a it's a usual oops. Okay, define the users and dependency, so you can uh, have the dependency injection in your composer construct function. Okay, the one more thing, it's a counterpart, or you can say it's a similar the composer, there is a creator concept. So like the composer, you can have the creator also. So in a creator class, you must have the create function. So through this create function, you can share the data across the templates, across the view blade templates. Okay, and you need to register here your creator with the create function. Creator, sorry. Okay, like this. And like the syntax is similar, the composer. The difference are involved that creator executes before the template rendering and composer during the template rendering. That's the difference and nothing else. Okay, you can use a creator or the composer and share your function across your templates. Okay, like this. You can also have the view creator closer like the composer. Okay. So using the composer, you can have a piece of logic for the number of templates or for the specific template or for all the templates. You can use a star here. So regarding the view, one more thing I want to tell you that if you come at the uh, Laravel root, then there is a PHP artisan. Okay, and there is a view commands, two view command, view cache and view clear. So view clear basically clear all the cache, template cache, view cache, and view cache build the cache. Okay, and it compiles and create the cache. So there are some scenario where you need to clear your cache manually. Then you use the view clear command here. So that's all for view. My upcoming video will be based on the Laravel plate, and there we will continue the template topic. So thanks for the joining us.